Well, what's up, everyone? I want to thank you guys for joining me today. This is Nelson. And as we get ready to wrap up these four pillars that I was talking about that I had to use to rebuild my life, to transform my life, to pull myself up out of that dark hole. As you guys know, I came out of a relationship, yet it was broken. And I'm not pointing a finger at anyone because I use the experience that I have to rebuild. I use the experience that I have to get higher, to take myself to another level. I use them as stepping stones, not as a victim mentality to say, well, I want to do an eye for an eye, a tooth for tooth. I'll get back at you because of what you do to me. No, that is not the way to live your life, because you see, when you sow those seeds, that's the kind of harvest you're going to get. But if you use your experience to take you higher, use them as a stepping stone, use them to evaluate your life and see the mistakes that you made, where you went wrong, and then you'll find yourself now rebuilding a stronger foundation. It becomes like a double hitter, a double strong foundation. And those pillars that I talked about from the beginning, the first one was building confidence by overcoming fear. I had to overcome that fear to move forward, to build a confidence, to even let my family know, like, look, this is what happened. Okay, it already happened. I'm moving forward. I don't want no negative thoughts. I don't want no negative words being spoken to say, well, this was no good and that was no good. No, I have made the choice to step forward, and I had to build that confidence to even get back out into the game. Here's another one I had to use: lifestyle. I had to change the way I was thinking. I had to change the things that I was saying about myself in order for me to build that lifestyle, because the words that was coming out of my mouth was hurting me. It was holding me back. A matter of fact, I went to a place to apply for a job, and I turned back around because I said to myself, they will never give me that job. I looked down at myself. I had low self-esteem. So I had to change the way I was thinking so that my lifestyle can change as well. The third one we worked on was faith. I had to reconnect with my true self, not just looking at myself as a poor old sinner or a no good or nobody. I'm looking at myself as one that has been made in the image and likeness of the Creator, which means that I have value, which mean that I have worth, which mean that I'm here on purpose, which mean that I have so much that is available to me that I can access through faith. But I had to, first of all, reconnect with my true self and see myself the way the Creator sees me. The fourth one that we're going to go into right now is relationship. And this is a big one, because if you does not have this, it can also influence your whole relationship to the point that it might fall apart. And this is: relationship must be built on love. The love should be what is the binding cord that bind a relationship together. Because you see, when you come, or when you're looking for your significant one, it might be someone who already started a family. So now two families are blending together. And if love is not the binding cord that is binding you guys together, you're gonna find one loving this family over here more than this one over here. You'll find like a tug of war, where this one is seeking more attention over here, you giving them more attention over there. This one, you've been pulled in a certain way. But when this relationship is built on love, you'll find yourself loving each other, or all of those that are involved in this relationship, the same way. There won't be no big I and no little I. There will be everything. It will be the same. So love is have to be the binding cord that you're bringing into this relationship. Because if you come and you're going to be one-sided, you're going to have a lot of problems, because after a while they're going to see that you're favoring this one over here more than that one over there. They're going to see that even your spouse going to begin to see that you're favoring these kids over there more than her. She's going to see that you're favoring your family, outside family, brothers and sisters, I should say, more than the one that, as the scripture said, the two becomes one. I've heard people say that blood is thicker than water. In other words, what they're implying is that your wife comes second, the family come first, like the brother, sister, uncle, they come first, and wife comes second. No, that's not the way it's supposed to be. The way it's supposed to be is the two becomes one. You leave your mother, father home, and you go and you cleave to your wife, and the two becomes one. There is no in between there. So here's something that I'm going to read to you that I think, if you use this concept, It will take your relationship to a next level. It would blow it out the water. I'm not going to preach to you, but I'm going to show you these concepts. It is in 1 Corinthians 13:47. I had to use this to rebuild my foundation. I had to forsake all the naysayers and all the outside influence and use this, go straight to the source and use it to build my relationship, to rebuild my life, or rebuild that pillar. Because if that pillar right there is not strong, the house gonna go over somehow. The relationship gonna go over. So here it is. 1 Corinthians 13:47 says, and it talks about love. And as we talked about earlier, this relationship must be built on love. I've seen relationship before I read this. I've seen relationship where it becomes like a convenience because he had a house and now I can go over there and live with her. I can go over there and live with him. Or he have a nice car or he can drive me to work. So now there's a relationship. Or he looks good or she looks good or he have some money or she have some money or their background of their family. I'm going to get in a relationship with that person, not knowing that it takes love to bind that two person together, or else you are living there, you're just in there. And as soon as something happens, as soon as there's a little hurdle, as soon as there's a little hiccup, the first thing he's gonna do is tell you to get out. The first thing that she's gonna do is say, I'm gone. But when the love is built, when the relationship is built on love, it doesn't matter how high the hurdle is, it doesn't matter how hot the fire is, they're going to stick together and overcome this little challenge. So here we go. 1 Corinthians 13:47 says, love is patient and kind. It is patient and it is kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud. Do you know that in some relationship, the husband be jealous will usually be jealous of the wife because of the job or the amount of money that they're making, or the wife usually be jealous of the husband, vice versa, because of the same thing. They're jealous each other in a relationship, in a marriage. Yes, but love is not jealous, it's not boastful, it's not proud, it is not rude. In a relationship, you find some people just say anything to a wife, or a husband would say anything, or the wife would say anything to a husband because they feel like, oh, I'm grown. You can't tell me what to do. You can say, but you got to understand those words that comes out of their mouth, they will never return to your void. When they go out, they can create a scar. Yes, the wound can heal, but sometimes it will leave a scar that you can see for as long as you stay together. And for some people, that scar reminds them of what you said. The scar reminds them of what you did, and they'll never forget. And sometimes, if they're not strong enough, it triggers something in the relationship. It triggers something in that person, and here you go again. So love is not rude. It does not demand its own way. It does not demand its own way. You see, you got to think about other people. Some people say, well, I need some time. Well, folks would tell you that. Folks would tell you that. Or you need to have some time for yourself away from your spouse. Go hang out with the boys. Go do whatever you want to do. Buy whatever you want to do. It's your money. You making it. Just do whatever you want. So now here you go. Oh, you can't tell me what to do. I work for this money. This is my money. I work hard for my money. So you begin to do your own thing, not having that communication of what's going on in your home and what needs to be taken care of so that you guys could take care of it together. Doing your own thing, having your own way, go on vacation whenever you want by yourself because you need time away from your spouse. Love does not demand its own way. It's a collaboration where you guys are making decisions together. It is not irritable and it keeps no record of being wrong. Some people say, yeah, you always do this to me. They keep you the 5 times. Now this is the 5th time you did this, and they go way back. Sometimes they go back so far that they dig up so many things that now it causes a fresh. It begin to, it creates a fresh argument. It's like it start all over again, because you went so far back digging up all the things that you have done. Even we got to understand when they say love is patient, you got to understand that sometimes some people, it might be in a longing mood still at the same time, where they are learning to do certain things. They're learning to cook as a new wife. But here you are now belittling her, telling her that she can't cook, tell her your friends that she can't cook and all this stuff, can't cook like your mama. But if you give her a chance, if you're being patient with her, you will see she begin to evolve. You'll see she begin to get better. She becomes a better cook. You have to be patient. Love is patient. It does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoice whenever truth wins out. Again, when we exercise that kind of love, we're sending a strong message to those around us, not rejoicing because things happen to our neighbors, not rejoicing because things happen to someone we think we don't like, but rejoice when the truth wins out. When the truth wins out, you rejoice. It sends a strong message and it shows others what kind of man you are, your character. Love, this verse 7, love never gives up. It could have been me. I love life. I could have even easily given up. I could easily say, well, there's no more good women in the world. I heard people said that. I've seen people who came out of a relationship to the point that every woman that you introduce them to, they call them the H word and they say they're no good, they don't trust nobody, and they never had a good relationship again after that. They continue to live that way. They never give themselves a chance to bounce back. They never apply the resource that was there to help them to become a better husband, to help them to become a better man. They never use the resources. They just give up right there. Oh, I was in love with you and you did this to me and you did that to me and you take all my money and you took this and you took that. I lost my, and all these things. They go back and they dig up those old things and they begin to relive that life all over again. Never give themselves a chance. They're just throwing the towel right there when they could have had another wonderful, even better relationship because of the experience that they have in the past. You see, it's so easy to point finger and say, well, is that person? It was you. You was the one who caused it. And then we overlook ourselves, overlook the part that we play in all that. Even if you didn't do certain things, there's sometimes that we can aid certain things. We can give the okay to do certain things, even though we know it's not right because we think it's love. And we'll look at that person and say, it's your fault, but then take ourselves out the pictures. Love never gives up. It never loses faith. Faith is strong belief in something or someone. I had faith. I had to reconnect. Well, a matter of fact, it's the seed that my mom and dad plant, especially my mother. I should say, especially my mother, because she was the one who used to bring us into her room, have us knelt down at her bed and teach us how to pray. And even in the schools that I went to, like the British schools, in the morning they bring you in, you have their devotion. Before you go out to lunch, you have a devotion again. You pray, you say your grace, and so on. So, and even there was even teaching the Bible in school. The Bible was part of our curriculum in school. So all that, all those seed that was planted was there. It was growing. It was growing. So it helps me to connect. It helps me to, well, to, I know I had it inside. I know because every time I try to do something that I know was going to hurt my ex, every time I was thinking about doing something to hurt myself, I can hear the voice said, would a child of God do something like that? It asks me that question and I back off because I know it wasn't right. So faith, it never loses faith. And it is that faith that I had to use to reconnect with my true self, to understand my identity, to understand who I am, to understand that God lives in me, and I have the power to overcome any kind of adversity. With God, as scripture said, all things are possible. And as Jesus Christ said, I am the vine, you're the branches. Apart from me, you can't do nothing. So if you want to do something, you got to stay connected to the vine. So I had to reconnect myself to my true identity in order for me to continue to move forward. It says again, it never loses faith, is always hopeful. That's another big part right there. In my life, I had to, when I reconnected through my faith, it began to open my eyes to see the possibility. Yes, you might lose a house. Yes, you might lose some money and things like that. But with the knowledge and wisdom and the ideas that God has placed in you, you can use those to rebuild, and you can gain even more. Like I said, Job, he received double. You can get back double or triple, but you have to have faith. If you have to have hope. If you give up all hope, it's like everything is done. You throw in the towel, you walk away. You think, well, man, I will never be able to own a house. I'll never be able to rebound. I'll never be able to get out of debt. If you have to have hope that because of who you are, because of who God is, and because the two becomes one, all things becomes possible. So there is hope. Love, it endures through every circumstances. That's a big one. Through every circumstances, love endures. It would have been easy for me to give up. It would have been easy for me to hurt my ex because of things, the material things. It would have been easy for me to come into this relationship not willing, my new relationship now, after years of marriage, not willing to change, not willing to, not being led by my ego, or the friends that was saying that there's more fishes in the sea, or the people that I've seen that always have a friend on the side just in case this one doesn't work out over here, or the ones that have the extra bank accounts that is hiding over there just in case. All those different things could have influenced me not to rebuild that this relationship based on love. But because I know the importance of having love as the binding cord in a relationship, true love, because I've seen people who've been together never get married. Some walk away, some feel like they're not obligated because there was nothing binding them together. Some was just there because, again, like I said, it becomes convenient for them to, now we have a house, we can live together. You pay half the bill, I pay half, and that's just it. But love is patient, it's kind, it never give up, it's not rude, it's not jealous. It is so much that is in this love that will make you love your wife, as the scripture says, Christ loved the church. And through that love, you will understand that your wife, as it said, the man who findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtain favor from the Lord. Your wife is a good thing. And favor is in your life because you have a wonderful wife. And when you love like that, it releases those favors into your life. The more you love her, the more she release to you. The more you love her, the more she release. But if you go in with that military mindset, giving orders like you're the commander for everything, you're gonna have some pushback. Love is not rude. It is patient. It is kind. It keeps no record of wrong. Sometimes we miss the mark. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna hold it against her as a check mark. Okay, I write this down. She did this on this date. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna do it back to her over here, or I'm gonna bring it back up again later on and say, "Yeah, you remember when you did this, or you remember when you did that." Love does not keep any record of being wrong, and that's a confident man. When you know who you are, you don't have to keep any record of being wronged by someone else. You know that you can bounce back. You have faith. You are hopeful. You know that you can bounce back because you know who you are. I love this quote that I have on my wall when it talks about, I'm so confident of who I am. I don't need to prove it to anyone. It does happen naturally. It does happen. I don't have to pretend to love you. It just happened naturally because I am love. God is love and God lives in me. It saturates my whole being. I becomes love. So again, this is Nelson. I'm not going to keep you long. Keep liking and sharing these videos and continue to subscribe to the channel. Invite your friends, let them subscribe. I will be coming out also with a workbook to help you through this. because I believe my experience, it can help you. I believe what I've experienced, it can help you also. That's why I love sharing, because I have learned some things too from, I have friends who've been married for 39, 40 years going. Ask them what is their secret. Ask them how did they make it this long. You'll be surprised with the things that they share with me. You will be surprised. But I believe they are also, and yes, I do believe that they have implemented a lot of these concepts right here. Because one of my friends said when he prayed for his wife, he told the Lord that he will never hurt her. He promised that to the Lord. And he always, he remembered that. That's something that he remembered, something that he lived by. The concept of 1 Corinthians 13, 4 to 7. If you apply those things, if you really want your marriage to be better, if you really want yourself to become a better husband, and you apply these concepts right here, I promise you, I guarantee you, and you can drop me a line. My email will be right there on the screen. Let me know if this helped change your marriage. You got to remember this now. Having a pack of seed in your hand doesn't mean that you're going to succeed. Doesn't mean that abundance is there. It is there, but you got to also remember you have to place that seed in the ground. That's when you see the fruits begin to manifest. That seed must be in the ground. You have to be a doer. Take the seed out the pack, put it in the ground. It's the same thing. You're hearing it, or you're going to apply it. Or you hearing it, or you gonna apply it. Read it for yourself. It's there. You can find it in the Bible. You can find it anywhere. If you don't like the Bible, take the covers off and just read it anyway and apply it to your life and see it's gonna be the same thing. You're getting the same results, whether the cover on or off. It the matter of what I'm just simply saying is these concepts that work. They have been proven, they have been tried, and they have been proven, and the results is there. The evidence is there to prove that they work. Look at my life. Look at my life. I'm telling you, I came out being so hurt. I came out full of anger to the point that driving down the road, I had a conversation and the anger was still on my face, cringed up. You drive, and then I said, "Oh my God, that scripture is for real." What it say? As a man think it become. I was thinking on the inside, and it shows up all on the outside. It all started on the inside first. You got to transform yourself from the inside out. You have to want it. Nobody can change you but you yourself, and you can't change anyone. Like they said, you can lead a horse to water, and this is so profound, but you can never make that horse drink. You could give somebody some information, but you can never make them implement it. They have to be the one who wants it. They want change. They want to see their life improve so that they can enjoy this beautiful life. But they themselves will have to be the one who placing that seed in the ground. You got to be the one who becomes that doer and not just a hearer only. Again, I love you guys. Peace, and I'm out.